Hello. The Bitcoin price is doing Bitcoin price things. I like it. It's above 30,000 right now. Still the low is down at 25 and some change, so still trending up sideways-ish. Could be, further capitulation, but I have a feeling that, that 25K range was the bottom. So cool stuff there. Holding the 30-ish K range for now. We'll see how long we trend for that. Next happening is 2 years away, so stick around because it's going to be a long grind. Next, FTX is going to launch stock trading against stablecoins. What I find about this to be interesting is that it's a bridge from the new system to the old system. So you'll be able to use stablecoins like USDC to buy and sell Apple stock and whatever MicroStrategy and whatever other stocks that you feel like trading. What it doesn't say in here is whether or not it'll be fractionalized. So you may have to buy whole shares, and I don't even know what level of custody it's going to be. Like, do you actually own these? Or is it just held in your name under the FTX platform like Robinhood does? Or if you're able to actually take ownership of said stock, it doesn't really go into detail. It just says that they'll do it. So interesting stuff there. I like the bridge, but I think we need more of the old system to come over to the new system instead of the other way around. But speaking of that, one of the old system guys who has been very notably reaching into the new system is the MicroStrategy CEO, Michael Saylor. Expects Bitcoin to go into the millions despite the crypto market sell-off. So, he obviously, sees where this is going. And he, says he thinks it's the future of money. And he holds almost 130,000 Bitcoin. So, very bullish indeed. But one of the things that this article goes on to say that quotes him is that I think this meltdown of Luna and UST that's going to accelerate the regulations of stablecoins and security tokens. He thinks it'll be a good thing for the industry, so we'll see. But he's not wrong, because G7 financial officials call on Financial Stability Board to step up crypto regulation. Reporte. So, this is starting to make all too much perfect coincidental sense, if you ask me, with Janet Yellen going before Congress or whomever, saying that, the downfall of, UST and Terra or Luna or whatever, is an example. Like she was going to talk about stablecoins. I believe that was known. And then, the collapse of Terra Luna happened, just before that. So I believe it's just a little bit too coincidental. And now that we're seeing, other officials from the G7, which include countries, what does it say? Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, and the United States. We're all meeting in Germany this week. And so, they're talking more about regulation. And I'm sure that's going to include, crypto assets, Bitcoin, stable coins. They're going to try and get a hold of this as soon as they can. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I have a feeling that they're not going to be able to at least strap down Bitcoin because there's really no central authority. The other ones, if there's an office that somebody can go to, like Ethereum, or a centralized person like Vitalik, that they can go after, then they certainly will. Whereas with Bitcoin, there's no one person that they can go after. It's like, how do you go after millions of people at the same time to try and get them to stop to do something? So, interesting developments there. Next, Panama President mulls crypto bill approval due to money laundering concerns. He really should be looking into the U.S. dollar if he's worried about money laundering concerns, because there's like less than 0.5% of transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain that are illicit or any sort of money laundering concerns associated with them. So, whereas the U.S. dollar, it being the world reserve currency and the currency that most crimes are committed with, there's lots of money laundering that goes on with there. So, and I think he's, taking a conservative approach. Is he doesn't have all the information that he feels comfortable with, and so he's not going to sign it into law, the current bill as it's proposed. So, it's not anything to shake a stick at. I think that's a proper way to, approach something. If you don't fully understand it, take the time to fully understand, make sure that this is the right decision for you and your country, and then proceed. However, he needs. I think a lot of people are not separating Bitcoin from crypto and the rest of the crypto assets because they lump everything together. They see Bitcoin as just like the biggest crypto, and all the others are essentially the same. It's going to take a long time and a lot of education, and even at that point, people still are not going to understand the differences between Bitcoin and crypto. So it's going to take just constant education and reassurance and explanation of how these technologies work, and we're going to have to be very patient with people and be teachers and prophets of Bitcoin. Just preach and tell people how it works and how to take custody of their coins and how to be safe with it and this and that and KYC and all these things. Just go and be about your peaceful way, because people are stupid. I'll say stupid. So there be that. Next, this kind of goes into what I was saying about inability to stop people from using at least Bitcoin. Because at first when I saw this article, I saw this picture of graphics cards, and I thought, oh, it's just some Ethereum mining or whatever. But I'm glad that I read into it, because not only is the criminal mining, quote unquote, in Abkhazia actually Bitcoin, we get to learn about Abkhazia, which is a state in the country of Georgia, and it's like learning about the state of Wyoming, 150 to 200,000 people or something like that. It's just like learning about like that in another country, the country of Georgia. Abkhazia is one of the states, and about 150 to 250,000 people live there. So, cool. But what was also cool is, I'm glad I scrolled down and looked into it, because these are Bitcoin miners. These are not, crypto bullshit shitcoin miners. These are actually Bitcoin miners. Those are not cheap Bitcoin miners either. Those are high-end, newer Bitcoin miners. They might be, I'm not even going to guess. I have no idea. But I find it very interesting, because people are going to, if there's an incentive to make money and you have cheap electricity and they can, use that electricity to make money, then they're going to do it. And what the people or at least the government of Abkhazia doesn't understand is that by his demand, they can raise the price of electricity, that's bad for everyone, or they can develop more electrical producing assets like solar panels, wind farms, coal, gas, whatever resources around this country has, hydroelectric or, what have you. They're forced to expand because of somebody's demand on the network. So if there were, say, if Amazon were to come in and build a server warehouse, they would not bat an eye. It's the fact that, it's some dude that, did it without telling anyone and, is consuming a lot of power. And I'm sure he's paying for it, and would gladly continue to pay for it, had they not, busted him or whatever. Like, apparently there are illegal uses of electricity which other than killing somebody, I don't know how you could illegally use electricity, which is so just dystopian in my mind. The fact, the illegal use of electricity, like we're supposed to be getting to a point where electricity, power, energy is free, cheap, and abundant for everybody. Like it should basically be free. The electricity that comes out of the sockets in your wall should basically be free. You should be able to have internet basically for free because of the level of competition that companies will drive each other into should force the prices way down, and expansion of the networks that support those infrastructures way out. So, and thereby driving the price further down because of competition and, trying to capture more markets. And then when other competitors catch up to that market, then prices go down to try and compete with each other and get market share. So ultimately, it's a good thing when people use Bitcoin, mining electricity for Bitcoin mining, because it will eventually drive the cost of electricity down. Especially if all of a sudden those Bitcoin miners are turned off, because then you have this overabundance of electricity that can't be sent anywhere. So then it creates not resistance, but inefficiencies on the electrical network, where you have all this energy that you can't send anywhere. So you have to essentially just burn it off some way, somehow. I don't know exactly how electricity is burned off, but it's wasted electricity somehow. And so where if you have, quote unquote, like a live battery like a Bitcoin miner, you can turn that off and send it somewhere if you need it. Whereas if you have a stored energy physical battery, like a lithium battery that just sits there, one, you lose that power over time due to, heat, thermal expansions, and just like the nature of the capacitors and batteries not able to hold all of their charge all of the time from various factors. But and then you have to send that electricity back, which to and from, which also creates further inefficiencies. But if you have like a live battery that's operating, that's already circulating that power, then it's already factored into the cost of sending that power somewhere else, and the energy that was consumed by the Bitcoin miners, they were paying for it. So when that electricity turns off, hopefully that they can use the funds that they had, to support themselves, and then they can send that electricity elsewhere. I'm sorry I rambled on a bit, but it's just when people don't understand how Bitcoin mining actually helps people, it kind of like gets me going on a little rant here, just because like it's actually going to be really cool. Like that was one of the main things that I really liked about the Bitcoin 2022 conference was the Bitcoin mining stage, and I wish I had spent more time over there, but I did go online and watch most of the videos. And this is very interesting stuff. Just like the theoretical possibilities and the philosophical implications of Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin itself are just pretty cool. They're just pretty cool. So I hope y'all guys like my rambling. If you could, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and if y'all didn't know, I'm just gonna spend the last minute here talking. I make these videos late at night, like right before I go to bed. So I hope it's just like encapsulating like what has happened in the day, and like honestly, like one of my main motives for making these videos is the thumbnails. If anything, I hope you watch these videos just for the thumbnails, because I have so much fun making those, and I want to be like top thumbnail maker, because I don't know, they're a lot of fun to me. So I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see you in another one. Thanks.